Hello again, Paris. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing good today. One of the things that we're going to do today is we're going to do an assessment on some of the things that brought you in today. I know that you filled out some paperwork in the beginning that had to do with confidentiality, but I want to go over that again because it's important for you to know that the things that you say to me are between you and I, with the exception of a couple things. If I felt like you were going to harm yourself or harm someone else, that's something that I would have to report to the police. If I felt like my records can be subpoenaed as well if you were in some kind of a custody battle, just so that you know. So I just need to let you know so that I am giving you informed consent. So do you understand the rules of confidentiality between us?
I do.
Okay, good. So this session is going to be a little bit different than some of the other sessions because we're going to do an overall assessment of what brings you in today. And there's a specific way that we're going to do that. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to ask you to rate some of the problems that you may be having on a scale of 0 being no problem whatsoever, 10 being that it's causing you a lot of stress. And so you can assign a number to it, which makes it nice and easy.
Okay.
There's also a diagram that we're going to use that I'm going to show you that this circle here represents, so A is going to represent some of your deepest problems. I'm just going to give you some examples of those so you understand. Maybe some hostility, sexual issues, lying, dishonesty can fall into that category. A lot of past history, some of the things that are the most uncomfortable to talk about that have a big impact on your life. And then as this goes up to B, C, D, and E, the range of concerns gets less. And so a lot of these issues have to do with the duration and frequency of how they affect your life. And being able to understand these behaviors and how we can change them and create some kind of a treatment goal is something that would help you in the future. So, because something obviously brought you to therapy. And so the goal is to distinguish what it is that's bothering you, and basically like how happy it would make you to resolve that issue in your life and how much better it would be. So with that being said, I'm just going to start with you drawing the circle that I have represented here.
Right in the middle of
Yep,
the page.
so I just did A, B, C, D, and E all the way up and then just circled them going around. So it doesn't mean that we have to talk about any of the, even if you list them off in there, that doesn't mean that we have to talk about them today. You can just pick something on that list that concerns you that you would like to talk about in this session, and then we can get into those other subjects later. So if you would just kindly list some of the possible things that would fit into category A, B, C, D, and E. You can just write something very brief, and then we'll go over the next part of it. And you can just use simple words to describe what those are. Okay, so Of this, I see the circle that you drew. What issue best represents the reason you are here today? If you had to choose on that circle.
It would be right around C,
Okay.
and that would be my impatience.
Okay.
Do you need me to elaborate?
That would be great. And with that being said, obviously, is that the most stressful and painful of the concerns for you?
You know what? Let me take that back and go with my impatience being around a B.
Okay, so you've brought it down to a little bit even deeper.
Yeah, because it is a problem. I think it is a problem. I think it's affecting my everyday life.
Okay.
And the biggest thing is that it's affecting my walk with the Lord. It's affecting my spirituality because I'm so impatient that the things that I want, the things that I am trying to strive to get that I have not gotten yet, instead of it drawing me closer to the Lord and understanding that there is a reason why He hasn't given it to me yet, it's kind of drawing me maybe a little further away because that's all I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about my individual walk with Jesus Christ.
Okay. So name some of the ways that you're impatient.
Well, the biggest thing is that I have been to school for the past 8 years, working on a bachelor's and a master's degree, and I saw myself in a position that I went to school for, and I haven't gotten it yet.
Okay.
And so I'm bothered. I'm bothered by. I want the position. I want to actually be in the position where I can start my life, basically, in that profession, because I am an older student. Well, was an older student. So I changed careers, and it's not like I'm starting something in my 20s.
Would you say a good word to represent the way that you're feeling right now is resentful?
I don't know about resentful. That's a very impactful word. I don't think it's resentful. I mean, it could be just a little bit. I guess I resent the programs I went into, my majors. I felt like I should have majored in something else now.
Okay, so you resent the choices.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel resentful.
I don't feel resentful, no. I resent the choices, some of the choices I made.
Do you feel any resentment towards the Lord because you said you feel
I don't. That's
distant?
What I'm saying is, as far as distance is, I am so occupied with thinking about what I want on this earth, that I don't give myself enough time to read my Bible, to talk to Him. I do, but not enough.
Okay.
And He knows my heart. My heart is, I'm talking to you, and I'm trying to figure out why I am still in this struggle. Why am I still struggling when I think that I have all the intangibles to be what I should be in life. You know,
Okay.
or what I think I should be, and that's the impatience. That's my struggle. My struggle is always thinking that that he should put me there. He should put me in the position that I want to be in, and I know that it doesn't work like that. That's where that's where things are just so difficult for me.
So are you saying that you feel like he has the power?
Well,
To-
of course he does.
So he has, so now you're making the statement that he has the power to put you in the position that you want to be in, and he hasn't done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no resentment. It's
No.
just
It's not resentment. That's the thing, because even if I started feeling some type of resentment, I also know that because of my impatience, he is not putting me there. It is just a weird turn of events. It's just a weird cycle. You
Okay.
know, I just don't know how to, it's all in my mind. Things are just so in my mind. I just don't know how to navigate them sometimes.
So you talk about the tangible things, which are your education, which you've put a lot of effort into. How many years of education? If you had to total them all up?
Well, it took me 7 years to get
Okay.
to get my master's, my bachelor's and master's.
Okay. And so then you added another, how many years to get your master's degrees?
Well, no, it's 7 altogether.
Okay, so 7 years of higher education. Okay.
Mhm.
So when you talk about the cycles of the impatience, tell me some of the things that you go through when you cycle through. Is your impatience a constant?
No.
So you don't wake up so what you're saying is that you don't wake up impatient. There are things in the day that trigger that impatience, and are those thoughts?
Yes, it's sort of. I'll give you a day in the life, I guess. Okay.
Great.
So I wake up.
Okay.
Okay. What I've been doing is I've been applying for several positions in teaching that.
Okay.
And I failed to even get interviews, but
Okay.
so I applied for all these positions. So a day in the life is I wake up and I immediately go to my email
Okay.
to see if I've gotten a response from a position on my email.
So what would you say is your feeling when you wake up? If you, one word to describe what that feeling is when you wake up. The first thing you do is feel.
When I'm feeling like, when I wake up and that is on my mind.
Yes.
Because there are times I just wake up and I'm not really thinking about it as much. I'm thinking about my, day.
Okay.
But anxious.
Okay. All right. So when you open that email, does your anxiety get reduced or does it get higher?
After I read the email, see that
Right.
it gets lower.
Your anxiety is lower after reading your email.
It's lower, yeah.
Okay. So is it based on?
Because my anxiety gets high from a sense of is something in there? Is
Okay.
something in there?
So it's a mystery.
I almost get excited thinking,
Anxious and excited?
Yeah, let
Okay.
me check. And then once I check and it's not there, anxiety goes down and I just, then I start thinking about my day. Like, going to work out,